So your point earlier was that the arts and design and creativity is all around us. I want to hear what you were saying. That was very interesting.
Well, you know, for parents who are worried about what their kids are going to do after college, for example, you need to think about everything in your house, absolutely everything. Every book, every piece of paper, every logo, you know, the logo in the back of your T-shirt right now, somebody designed that.
Sure.
And it's not, there's not a star system, it's just, there's an enormous amount of work that needs to get done. And your kids can find jobs in that if they're interested.
You know, that's a very important point. I'm glad you made it. Most people, and I know you all experience this as musicians, because I experienced this in theater. Most people who go into music, they see themselves as being the next superstar, right? And what people don't recognize, and what I try to help people understand as well, is that there's a whole level of people that work every single day making a living off this stuff, and that superstardom should not necessarily be the goal of artistic participation or a career. And I'm sure, once again, I think you all probably deal with it worse than anyone, because music is that way. I mean, I personally, honestly, I don't even like American Idol. I really understand this. I don't care. I don't like the sort of TV reality stars, because I think it puts the wrong focus on what music is. But go ahead.
There's a false perception too sometimes that that you're going to get on this show, and but then again that has been happening for some.
Happen.
So maybe it's not as false, but I think in the grand scheme of the big picture, you pursue art because you love it. You pursue music, and as you were saying, there are plenty of people who are working who have had what should be considered successful careers. No one may, you may not know their name, but they have been enjoying their lives. They've made a living. They've made other people happy. They've had a wonderful career.
Exactly, and there are people whose names that you do know that initially gained their fame by signing on to a major record label, but then decided to go and do all of the business, all of the recording, all of the other things on their own or with other people, so that they had more creative control and could actually make a little bit more money, which, as much as some students want to be superstars, they also want to make a lot of money. And their careers connected to music where you can actually do better than some of the artists. Songwriting, I think, is a great example of that.
Let me give you another example. I mean, we've got a couple of students who have graduated and worked in the production shop at the Field Museum. And if you're going to work in a place where every show is different, and you've got to be creative, you're used to dealing with that kind of flexible stuff. Both those guys have gone on to do very, very well for themselves. Including benefits.
That's awesome.
Salary and benefits.
And the other thing I would tell you, and this is what people don't recognize as well, there are a lot of organizations that really need the skills that we have. I've done corporate training, organizational training through theater. And it just, it's a very important point. But I just think that, once again, that culture around music specifically, it tends to, kind of be, you get that mentality, if you will, but you make a very good point.
Yeah, it's piggyback on the initial justification for the arts. Think of everything that you watch that has something recorded with it. A lot of those people went through music school. Everything, radio, television, movies, the web, everything has somebody getting recorded.
And then thinking along those lines, one of my friends that I went to grad school with, she's actually making props for, like Shameless and all these different shows that require, okay, this 2-liter bottle has to explode when it's dropped with orange soda in it, So those are different skills that, you're not going to be, a famous artist likely, but you will be able to, you're going to have be resourceful and, find a way to make it work.
And what amazes me, and I'm sure this amazes you as well, advertising today is really becoming very production-centered, and I mean, commercials, half the time you don't even know what they're advertising. Because it's this whole set of characters, and this plot. And so I think it's interesting. But there's a reason for that, because it catches people's attention. And in a time where, advertisers are vying for people's attention, those skills really help to gain it. So thank you all. This was a good conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.